Okay, so I mean, for the last time we met and had this discussion, I have added a little bit more onto my Instagram. So I was doing the Pathologypedia Instagram, which is basically just, as I'm just reiterating to jog your memory, focusing on like speech pathology. And it was supposed to be more so like a community where it wasn't just a niche to one person. So or like one specific group, like it wasn't a niche for professionals in the industry or parents or carers or friends that wanted to know about more about speech pathology. It was kind of combining everything together in the one spot, which is what I was trying to target to make it kind of different to others. And then from there, I've kind of just continued on. I've kept the same theme and colors just to like with my posts that I've made through Canva, and kind of just tried to ensure that all of my fonts and the aesthetic kind of fits, to kind of create more of attraction towards my account, if that makes sense. Um, and then basically I've just been kind of making a few more posts and yeah, not too much on
Yeah,
my
good to
stories. I
know.
probably should have done a bit more stories and other avenues of engagement, which I probably should get onto. But as for right now, I just kind of focus more on the actual posts.
Yeah,
Yeah, they look really good. I looked at it this morning and I feel like you like educate and engage and it's like colorful. I feel like it's really good, a good page.
Thank you. I would say the only thing that was I found a bit tricky is I don't think anyone in our degree, like, and it's not bagging anyone out, but they're just probably not interested in
Yeah,
speech pathology. Like, it's something that's health. It's the complete opposite to what everyone's studying. And it's not really like cool, like, an Xbox game or some like a food review. So I do think that that did have an impact on my um kind of the traffic kind of coming through my page, if that makes sense, because I was at a little bit of a disadvantage because I generally don't think people really care, if that makes sense. I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
do you think that impacted your like motivation to continue, or were you consistent throughout the whole thing?
I feel like I've been pretty consistent because it's something that I'm interested in. And
Yeah,
I'm actually like really grateful for this opportunity because I do kind of want to go on to study speech pathology next year. I know it's very different to what we're doing now, but I think it's cool that I've actually had this opportunity throughout this degree, which I never thought to kind of look into what speech pathology is and write a little bit about it. So
yeah,
I'm actually like really grateful and I was happy, like regardless of what other people think or if other people care, like it was beneficial for me, I guess. So yeah, no, I was still motivated by it. I'm actually glad I have it. It might help me, down the track or even at uni.
yeah.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
really sweet. Yeah, that's perfect.
Mm,
And I feel
yeah.
like even if it's not like even if other people aren't completely interested in it, it's given you a good insight into like your interests. So I feel like it's achieved what you sort of want.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like the social utility was quite like strong. Like it was easy to come from that kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, like it
Yeah,
definitely has a
which is
Yeah.
what you
purpose.
want.
Yeah. But anyways, that's enough from me. Does
Yeah,
anyone
good
else
job,
want
Zach.
to share?
I can go if you'd like.
Yeah.
So mine was the fashion trends in the media Instagram page where I just like documented obviously fashion trends in the media and through influencers and infographics, how-tos, etc. So
yeah,
yeah, I have just continued on with that, sort of posting more. And obviously trends have changed since we've last been on because we all know that trends jump quite quickly from trend to trend.
yeah.
So I've just I've just been like updating the page since then around that and just researching more like influencers and influential people in the fashion industry to update the page. Same as Zara. I just don't know about the community engagement side of things. It's a bit hard because you're building the brand from like the bottom up sort of thing. And yeah, it's very niche. So not many people are like interested in fashion trends in the media if like they can just go into their own pages sort of thing. So that's something I have learned from it, that like people, if they're looking for fashion trends, they'll go directly to the source rather than going to like an external source to find the trends.
Yeah,
So I guess
true.
that's like a learning for me. That
Yeah.
perhaps maybe I could have done something like a little less niche and more like broad to perhaps like increase the engagement. But yeah, that's just a part of the learning process, I suppose. So yeah, and same goes. I feel like I didn't do as much as I could have on the story side of things, but um the feed like looks good, which is like a good thing, I guess. But yeah, it's
Mm.
just the community engagement was where it lacked.
Yeah. And I think as well, on top of all of that, like you mentioned, fashion is an industry where every single day is something new. So
Yeah,
you really like to grab people's attention, it's just like almost impossible. It kind of has to become like a full-time thing where you're just constantly posting and updating. And so, yeah, I mean, even
Definitely.
what you've done is great.
yeah, 100%. It's always going to be hard, like to keep on top of it as well as like doing it for your own pages and whatnot. So it was like just one of those
Yes.
extra things. But I feel like, yeah, I like learn a lot about fashion and yeah, obviously inspired me because that's what
Mm.
I'm interested in. So I
Yeah.
guess it achieved somewhat of the main goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah, so
cool. You
that's the
kind of
thing.
have that like portfolio to look back on.
Oh, for
Like
sure,
that's
100%.
like the nice, I guess.
Yeah, and I feel like everything's a learning opportunity. Like it just like taught me about like feed previews and like aesthetics and whatnot. So I feel like, yeah, I'm not taking it as a downfall, like a good opportunity to learn.
No, definitely, that's cool.
Definitely.
Okay, that's
Um,
enough from me.
I can bounce off onto that.
Cool.
Yeah,
Um,
perfect.
okay, well, I think last time I spoke about that I like changed my idea several times.
Yeah,
And over the past few weeks, I've kind of kept it consistent. And like you were saying, I feel like posting every day, I feel like it takes a lot of time. This is just on TikTok, but like finding ideas of like following trends and sounds and whatnot, it does take like a few hours, which I kept up for like days and days. And I had like a few like successful videos. So there was like maybe like four that reached over 10,000. But
that's so good.
That's really
yeah,
good.
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, but like even afterwards it would hit and then the next video would stay. You know how there's like the 200 view death kind of
Yeah,
that just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
plagues? That would
Mm.
happen
yeah,
again. So it's really interesting to be like,
I can imagine
I don't
that'd be a
know,
bit demotivating as well when you like put like
a
heaps of
little
time into a
bit.
video and it gets just like it doesn't really get the views you want.
yeah,
Oh,
Mm.
totally. And it's always
Especially
the
because
one
so
that,
much goes into it as well.
yeah. And I feel like that it was like been said before, where it's like the one you spend 2 seconds on and you're just like, I just need to fill that third post this day. And that's the one that like gets more views.
yeah. It's always the way.
Okay.
You just
Not
put
that I'm
hours into
complaining, it's
something.
fine. But it is interesting to look at.
Yeah, and TikTok's such a hard platform because like the algorithm's so picky. So
Yeah,
I feel like you did a good job to at least get like a few in the 10,000s anyway.
yeah. And I
Yeah, I was
also,
gonna say, like,
yeah,
oh, sorry to cut in, but I was gonna
no,
say, honestly, compared to some other people's like DAs, and it's not like judgmental at all, but that is a quite like a high milestone because
Oh,
there's a
for
lot of people
sure.
that haven't even had like many people look at
yeah,
theirs, like mine. Like, I don't think really anybody except for our group has probably looked at mine, you know?
Yeah,
So yours is
yeah.
that's really good.
Oh, thanks. I
yeah, 100%.
yeah. I think also though with this, like yours, both of yours actually, if anyone's interested, they'll follow along. Where mine is, and that's on Instagram as well. So I think loyalty in followers and like the interest is high. But on my account, it's more like it's in the feed. Oh, I relate to that, like, and then see it later.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think
Yeah,
true.
that as well is hard to like keep traction. But live and learn.
yeah. for sure. Good opportunity to learn.
I think I had dropped Instagram off a little bit, so maybe that's where I went wrong. So maybe next time I can have a
Yeah.
look further into that.
Yeah, it's always hard though, because it's like that's just a whole nother thing. Like even if you're struggling to keep up the posting on TikTok and then to add in Instagram, it's like another
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. So it's all balance, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Good job,
Yeah.
Sophie.
Well,
All right,
thanks, guys.
I'm happy to go now.
Okay.
So for my digital artifact, I'm basically just to recap, I've been doing mine on like the Mad Max video game. And
Yeah,
basically the game when it came out 10 years ago, it kind of just like failed, like very unsuccessful. But now people love it. So the main goal of mine was to like kind of figure out why it failed. Like is it bad or did it just not connect with people at the time or did it just age better than games usually do? Um so I've
yeah,
kind of like finished my digital artifact in that aspect. Like but I found time management was really interesting. Like I usually don't struggle too much with time management, but this go around like I was gonna do like weekly live streams and like then do this like big video essay at the end. And then I got to like week 10 and I found like I was like really doing nothing. So I kind of just like switched over to just I post ended up posting just a few recordings of me playing and then I just did like a short like video essay for like 5 minutes on like the topic. So I found like
yeah,
time management was really interesting. Like it seems a lot like especially like what you said with Sophie with the TikToks, it seems a lot like easier than it actually is to do a lot of these things.
yeah,
Um
definitely.
yeah, and I found what I didn't do well, which is on me, but now that after hearing you guys that you did well, I think I didn't focus on like branding enough. Like you guys seem like you had your branding down like pretty well, like the colorways and that. And I really didn't do much with branding, which I think would have helped a bit because I didn't get too much engagement. But yeah, I think that's like
Yeah,
something I can focus on for next time.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
oh yeah, and another interesting bit I found was like when I was first doing it, I was like trying to figure out why the game kind of failed. So I was really just going in to be like, oh, is the storyline good? Is like the game mechanics good? Like is the fighting cool or whatnot? And then I
Yeah,
kind of realized as I played, like I'm like, it is pretty good in that regard, but it's kind of like it doesn't seem like it might appeal to like audiences around the world. And for a big budget game like that, I think that might be where it failed. I just found it interesting. It made me like reframe my whole project a bit.
I was gonna say, do you have like one strong conclusion as to why that you think that it like how it kind of failed and then everyone loved it? Like, is that what your main thing is?
Yeah, I have two reasons. I think so. I'm like a casual gamer, so I kind of went into it with that point of view.
Yeah.
And I found that like it's actually kind of boring from my perspective. Like a lot of people who say they love it now are people who are really into games like that, like story games where you just like trudge through and do stuff.
yeah,
And,
Mm.
and then I also found like Mad Max is very popular in like America and Australia, but it's not very popular in like Asian countries and that. And more like Africa and Europe. Like it's not very popular over there, and they're a big market.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
that's
so
true.
I guess the game just didn't translate in that way. Like it just didn't have that international appeal like it seems like it might.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Well, it's a good learning though. I feel like all of us have learned a lot from these
yeah,
digital
Yeah.
artifacts. And
Definitely.
like even though they may not have all gone as like well as we hoped, I feel like yeah, like good learnings come out of it and like we've learned stuff about ourselves and like our own passions and whatnot, which is good.
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
Definitely.
Hey everyone, so for my digital artifact, I've been building a presence on Instagram focused on photography. So, just to jog your memory, I've been doing photography for 4 5 years now, but it had come to a standstill where I did not post, and it's been that way for a while. So, this DA actually helped me get out there and start posting more and start interacting more. I set out to do this in a way to develop my skills more and also like build a community where people can appreciate photography and hopefully learn from my process as well. I've been experimenting a lot trying to find my voice in this space while also staying connected. A big part of what I'm doing is trying to jump on new trends, mostly through short form content like reels and quick videos. I've realized that these short viral style posts are a powerful way to attract new followers and get people to engage. Trends help with visibility, which is key, but I'm also finding this as a push for me to think more creatively about how I present my work in ways that feel authentic but are still eye catching. But alongside all the trendy content, I am putting efforts into creating long form posts. These give me space to dive deeper, whether it's showing behind the scenes footage, sharing editing tips, or posting photo series that I really want people to resonate with. I feel like these longer posts give my followers a better look at what I can do and offer a different level of engagement. It's kind of a balance, using trends to get reach, but also making sure there's substance for people who want more. And now, to be completely honest, it has not been easy. Procrastination has slowed down my posting schedule more than I'd like to admit. It's tough because consistency is everything on social media, and I know it's something I need to work on, and that's something I've been trying, because for the longest time I did not post just because of my procrastination, because I used to edit and like keep all the photos ready, but I never ended up posting them because it's just too much work. But now I'm actually like slowly getting into that, and like I've genuinely been trying to post more for this DA. I think a part of me is just wanting each post to be perfect, but I'm learning that sometimes just putting something out there is better than holding on to it for too long. Despite the challenges, this is really my passion project. I love photography and I'm committed to pushing through the bumps to keep growing and learning. I know that every post, every interaction is a chance to be connected with people and improve my craft. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now, taking it one step at a time. And I'm really excited to see where this journey leads.
Yes, okay. Well, I feel like that's us done, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this is
Yes.
worked.
Thank you guys for
Thanks,
meeting.
guys.
Thank you.